Hey guys, I'm Eric.
And I'm Grace. We're the Wandering Ravens.
We're an American couple that makes videos about British culture, and today we are going to do something that no American has ever done before. We're going to try to make a Christmas pudding.
Thank you so much to everyone who recommended that we try our hand at making a Christmas pudding. We will try not to let you guys down, and we know, we were supposed to make this weeks ago, but us Ravens don't have that kind of time, so thankfully we were able to dig up a recipe where we can cook and eat the pudding in the same day. Thank you, Tesco. So we're gonna give that a try and see how it goes.
On your marks,
Get set,
bake!
First, let's talk about our dried fruit. As you can see, we have some really quite nasty looking dried fruit here. All it is figs, dates, glacé cherries, candied ginger, dried cranberries, and dried raisins. Oh, and a little bit of rum. This will be our first time having rum in anything.
It's actually our first time ever drinking rum at all. So this is a very exciting day.
So our dried fruit has been soaking for about 4 hours. I know it's technically supposed to soak overnight, but we went to buy rum last night and found out to our shock and horror that nobody in this city sells alcohol after 9 p.m. for some odd reason, which we will get into later at the end of this video.
The next thing we need to do is add breadcrumbs so that the pudding has a little bit of volume, or so we've been told. Now, we don't have breadcrumbs ourselves. We went to several different shops, couldn't find any breadcrumbs, so we have decided to just call it quits and make our own. We have a food processor here. We've got some toast inside. As you guys know, Grace is gluten-free, and so these are gluten-free toasts. What we've done is we've toasted them in the oven for a couple of minutes so that they're nice and toasty.
Dried them.
Dried them, that's right. We've dried them. And now it's time to pulverize these bad boys into some breadcrumbs. Moment of truth.
We have our breadcrumbs that have become bread crumbly, and we are going to add 100 grams to our fruit mixture.
Oh, nice!
Perfect! It is perfect! Now that the breadcrumbs are added, we are going to add 75 grams of chopped walnuts. Now we're going to add our teaspoon of mixed spice. And Christmas would be lost without 200 grams of sugar. And for this recipe, we used turbinado raw sugar, I believe, because that was the closest substitute that we could find for molasses sugar. Couldn't find molasses sugar anywhere, so turbinado sugar it was.
And now it is time to add, what is this?
Flour.
Flour?
Flour.
How much?
50 grams.
50 grams of gluten-free flour. And we couldn't find any self-rising flour like they had in London and Leeds and everywhere else we went in the UK. So today we are using just regular gluten-free flour with a touch of baking powder to hopefully get it to rise. Man, this smells so sweet. Ah, waft. This smells so sweet, it's ridiculous. Speaking of sweet, now it's time to crown it all off with some molasses. Or treacle, except we couldn't find treacle. Again, we could not find treacle here, so we had to substitute it for molasses. I know you guys are going to hate us for that, but it's what we had to do. I'm very sorry. If you've made this recipe yourself, let me know. Does it really matter if you use treacle or molasses? There we go. And to let you guys in on a little family debate, what do you call this? Is this a spatula or is this a spatula? Let us know down in the comments. For the record, Grace calls this a spatula and I call this a spatula. Next, it's time to add the suet. But unfortunately, again, we couldn't find any suet. What is wrong with this town? We'll tell you at the end of this video. But first, just to let you know how we resolved it, we decided to substitute the suet for butter. If you can't substitute suet for butter, let us know, or I guess we will find out in about 5 hours when this pudding is done steaming. Let's turn this on and set it to 0. Perfect, 0. And now we have to add 100 grams of butter. What number are we on?
We're only on 17.
What?
63. Woo!
Oh my gosh, this is taking forever.
2 hours later.
Oh, really needed a drink after all that butter. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is grate an entire apple into this pudding. The weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, I'll grate an apple into my Christmas pud. I'll take this opportunity to ask you guys another question. You Brits celebrate Boxing Day. We Yanks do not celebrate Boxing Day. But good news, Grace and I are going to celebrate Boxing Day this year for the first time ever. So when we're celebrating Boxing Day, are we still allowed to listen to Christmas music or do Christmas related things? Or is it really just a day for eating leftovers?
I'm back. All right, and it is time to zest a lemon. How the heck does one hold this thing? I've never used it like this. Ooh, okay. All right, I think we got this. Lemon down!
Yes.
Oh no! It's got butter attached to it now. And now an orange.
Lastly, all we need to do now is add a couple of eggs. Now we're just gonna stir all of our fruit and sugar and rum and eggs and flour together and make a nice pudding batter.
Is it batter or mixture?
Mixture.
So now we are going to grease our bowl. We tried to find a real pudding bowl, but something about this city, there was just no pudding bowls. Boop. Whoa, that looks so unappetizing.
Now we're gonna put a double layer of nonstick paper on top of the pudding. We have fashioned ourselves a handle out of string, covered it all in foil, and now we are going to set our pudding mixture into the pot. Now it's time to add the rum. And we gotta bring it halfway up the side of the pudding bowl. No, I'm kidding. No, we're actually adding water. So we gotta bring the water halfway up the side of the pudding bowl. All right, we've got it on a nice medium-low heat, and now we're just gonna let it sit and simmer for about 4 to 5 hours, checking periodically and topping up that water. We'll come back to you guys when this is done. Okay, it's been 4 hours and 5? It's been 5 hours and our pudding is now ready. We're gonna take all this off, put the pudding up, and hopefully it doesn't just fall to pieces. Wow.
What does it smell like?
It smells so good. There we go. Hey, look at that. What do you think?
I mean, we haven't tried it yet, so.
Oh, wow. That is a proper pudding. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. But before we dig in, no Christmas pudding is complete without a little bit of, oh yes. All right, here we go.
Ooh.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Okay, after that exciting adventure, it is time to finally taste our Christmas pudding.
Something I'm really curious about is the texture. Is it gonna be bready?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be crunchy?
No. But that is a good question. You guys let us know, what is the texture of a Christmas pudding supposed to be like? Is it supposed to be crumbly? Is it supposed to be light? Is it supposed to be a little bit wet?
Whoa.
Ooh.
Whoa. Whoa.
Is ours done?
That was unexpected. This is actually very wet.
It is really wet.
This is really wet.
Is there such a thing as being too wet? Because if there is, it might be this
No,
pudding.
I think being wet is a good thing.
Usually, in most cases.
I'll pivot this around for you guys to see inside, but this is what it's looking like.
Were we supposed to let it like sit for a bit before we
Like
cut it
rest?
open? Or did we put too much rum on top?
Or maybe this is just how it's supposed to be. Let us know how wet you like your pudding before you put a knife in. And meanwhile, we're gonna dig into this. Now let's try some.
Wait, are we just eating it right off the cake platter?
Yeah, we're just gonna eat it like
horrible. Okay. This feels so uncivilized. Hot. Why does it taste like a pineapple to me?
There is so much fruit flavor going on that it's very confusing for my brain, yeah. Considering how little rum there was in it, I feel like the flavor is a lot stronger than I was expecting.
Initially, this is way better than what I was expecting. Would you agree?
Same, yeah. I was honestly expecting to hate this because it looks terrible.
And also, it's a combination, for me, it's a combination of many things that I personally dislike, like glacé cherries, craisins, raisins. Yeah, it just seemed like a really odd combination. I thought it was gonna be this really dry, nutty cake, but this is actually, it's very moist, it's very dense, but it's also very flavorful and rich. I really like it. Simply because
Riley wants some.
He wants to smell
Riley
some.
wants to try some. Riley, do you want to smell the cake?
He probably can't eat it because he'll get drunk
don't-
instantly, but
Just let
here,
him smell
sniff.
it.
He wanted to eat it. He wanted to.
His tongue went for it. You can't eat that, little man.
Question for you guys, did we do anything wrong? What would you have done differently in the creation of a Christmas pudding? Let us know. Also, do you top your Christmas puddings with anything? Like, do you put powdered sugar or like whipped cream on top? I feel like whipped cream would go really well, or just some sort of heavy cream.
I would love a heavy cream to go with this. And if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to this channel for weekly British culture content. If there's another classic British Christmas meal that you think we should make, drop that down in the comments and maybe we'll stick our knives into that next week.
And if you would like even more British culture content, make sure that you join our Patreon. Patrons get access to our private Facebook group, bonus videos, and a monthly live stream. So catch us over there.
Without our patrons, we wouldn't be able to run to the shop and buy a whole bunch of dried fruit and rum to make videos like this. So thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate each and every one of you.
Happy Christmas!
Just kidding. To the three of you that are still watching, we are going to let you know this city that we are in. This very strange city that doesn't sell alcohol past 9 p.m. and doesn't sell suet in the grocery stores.
Oh, you said grocery stores. I think that kind of gives it away.
Does that kind of give it away?
That does kind of give it away. Most of you have probably already guessed this by now, but we are actually in America, specifically in the city of Chicago. And we've been here all along.
No, we haven't been here all along. We actually just showed up a couple of days ago. We've been in the UK for months, as you all know, but unfortunately, due to housing shortages, we had a very difficult time staying in the UK. Basically, we had several accommodations fall through. We had trouble finding Airbnb, and so we've done a tactical retreat. We've come back to the States, and we are currently house sitting in the glorious city of Chicago. But don't worry, even though we're in America, the British culture videos will not stop. Until next time, I'm Eric.
And I'm Grace.
We're the Wandering Ravens.
And we'll see you in the next video.
Cheers!